Hello everyone! And today I want to present you a full and detailed analysis of the 7th episode of Skibidi Toilet Multiverse. Now we're going to find out how this botanist clockworker and Clockwoman are related, and also answer the main question of this episode. Is the Clockwoman a traitor? And is she in league with me, elite Clockman and Mobi? In this video, we will find all the secrets and Easter eggs that Dom Studio has left for us in this episode, as well as discuss some theories I have up my sleeve. Get your tea and snacks ready. It's going to be very interesting. Let's go. The events of this episode take place near the Clockman's base. As you remember, in the 2nd and 3rd episodes, the Skibidi Toilets already launched their attacks on it. But someone arrived to help the Alliance afterwards. And in the reflection of the camera, we saw the Clockman Titan. This battle happened off-screen, and we were not shown how he destroyed the whole crowd of toilets, which actually means that the Skibidi Toilets know where the Clockman base is, and this isn't their first attempt to conquer it. The episode begins with the Titan Speaker Man destroying the toilets remaining near the base. First thing he does is shooting this Skibidi spider, which is pretty unremarkable, except for the fact that he has a rather wide toilet tank with no flush button on it. The second Skibidi is much more interesting to us. To begin with, he has metal plates behind his head, which we will see only in the 13th episode on the scientist with a shocker. And he also has 2 guns similar to those of the blind Skibidi from the 17th episode, only here they are smaller, because the toilet himself is smaller, so they are not so deadly in action. Although I think that they can do a lot of harm to the ordinary Alliance soldiers. He also has metal claws and 4 rocket launchers, but in any case, he doesn't have time to use them and is being destroyed by Titan. The next toilet that the Speaker Man sent to Skibidi Hell is a Skibidi skeleton, similar to the skeleton from the original series by Dafuk. He looks exactly the same, but much bigger in size than here. He has 3 barrels of acid that he can pour over the area around him. Very dangerous stuff if someone gets hit by it, but there's nothing more he can do to the Titan. After making a very surprised expression of his, well, skull, he gets destroyed as well. When the Titan has dealt with all the enemies and turned towards the base, I was able to spot 2 speakermen on the roof. These guys don't seem to care about anything, and decided to have a dance party right in the middle of the battle instead of participating in it. When the Titan drops off the POV, he sends a message from his tablet that the base has been liberated, and that the Titan is okay. He is slightly injured, but generally ready to fight. This is the exact same message we saw in the first part of episode 6. The POV enters the base and we see one of the rooms in front of us. We saw a different one in episode 2, but it's likely just another one of many rooms because the entire Clockman's base is an incredibly large castle. There's nothing unusual in this room though. There's just a few agents standing around a table with the lower part of the body of a large Clockman, who was split in half in episode 5 by a large magnetic Skibidi, after which he was saved by a large speaker man with one of the TV men. But it looks like they took him out of the battlefield piece by piece, because they put the second part of his body on the table a bit later. Near the operating table stood a botanist Clockman, who learned the way to revive flowers, and he decided that maybe he could fix his friend. However, except for curing flowers, he doesn't really know how to fix anything else, at least not yet. So after the failed attempt, he just gives up. But suddenly, a black mist appears, and 2 friends teleport to the spot. TV Woman and Clockwoman. Oh, look at that beautiful hat! It's quite beautiful if you know what I mean. I wish I had one, you know? Meanwhile, Simp Cameraman tries to jump at TV Woman, but she teleports away in time and he can't catch her as always. Sorry bro, but it looks like she's not interested in you in the slightest, even in this universe.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out.
Anyway, let's move on. Clockwoman walks over to the operating table and with a bit of preparation, begins her time magic. Yellow particles appear around her, as well as a magic circle with symbols, just like in the 6th episode, when Titan Clockman started to bring Titan Cameraman back to life after his grand destruction. After a while, the big Clockman's parts fall into place, and he finally comes back to life, be ready to return into action. At this point, you can notice how the Clockwoman starts berating the botanist Clockman for failing his task, while he looks down at the floor as if he's ashamed that he let her down. I have a hunch that this guy is actually her apprentice, and she's teaching him time magic, but he seems to be doing almost nothing right, so bringing that one flower to life was like his biggest accomplishment. But hopefully he'll do well in the future and keep trying more in order to become the most powerful Clockman ever. I definitely have bits of my faith for this guy. Besides that, I also want to draw your attention to one very interesting detail. As you know, all dials of Clockman are synchronized and show the exact same time. But take a closer look at the Clockwoman's hat and what time it shows right now. It's actually 9:30. Exactly the same time as the dial showed on Skibidi Base 3. It gives me certain ideas, you know. Maybe she knows what's really going on in this universe, and she's in on it with me, the Elite and Mobi. That's why she wasn't participating in that battle near the Skibidi base. And that's why she talked the Clockmen out of coming there in the first place, so we didn't see any of them at the time. She didn't help her friends who decided to go in there. Or maybe it's just a coincidence, and it doesn't mean anything. It just happened. Who knows? Large Speaker Man handles Big Clockman his hat, after which they make a bro fist, while the Clockmen are showing their signature, OK. So does Elite Clockman, as the cameraman puts a like under this video, as he usually does. So you guys should do the same if you like my analyses. It adds motivation to me to give you a lot more I already do. However, this beautiful scene is being interrupted by a message on the POV tablet, informing us that the Titan Clockman has been destroyed and captured by the infected Titan cameraman. As we'll learn in future episodes, the Skibidi will begin dismantling him for parts and take some of the Clockman's technology out. With their help, they will be able to find out how to defeat the agents and Titans. The main Clockman takes the tablet in his hands to see that news as well, and it looks like he's really upset. Well, that wraps up the whole episode, and I now want to discuss something else with all of you. In this episode, the Alliance doesn't know yet that the ordinary Skibidi toilets aren't their biggest threat, and a Skibidi scientist with clockwork inventions isn't the most dangerous thing waiting for them ahead. Imagine if Skibidi monsters like this huge and incredibly strong toilet or this fast, scary Skibidi get their hands on these weapons. You can only wonder what could have happened in that case, but fortunately, it hasn't happened just yet. But the Alliance's agents are to be prepared for the fact that the new technologies will soon appear on these toilets, and there will be a special need to somehow counter this happening. Perhaps we will see it on that exact toilet that could be seen in the very last picture. And then whoever gets in her way will have a rough time. Also, in the comments under the last analysis, you drew my attention to the following thing. On this picture, there is a Skibidi Sadako from the movie called The Ring. It's quite likely that this is true, and it's not actually the Black Mask, but it's her hair. In that case, in episode 18, we're going to see horror elements again, and I'm going to do my analysis of it with a face just like this. So be sure to subscribe to my channel so you won't miss my new analysis of the 18th episode. I already know it's going to be incredible. And it was me, ISOtoilet. See ya!